I just want to briefly talk about my job hunting. As you know, I've said it in my even in my latest videos about I gotta keep job hunting here and there. Well, guess what? I'm gonna be willing to admit I have not been job hunting very much. I seldom have been job hunting as of late, and I know that it's right now with the Christmas season going on and December usually being a pretty damn hectic month as far as celebrating the Christmas season, and obviously with the Christmas shopping, and for my sake, being very festive with the craft making that I'm such a big fan of and all that, and yes, incorporating that with some of my remaining friends doing birthday celebrations, like Leslie, for example, and I know I did Emily super late, right? So I have not really been doing very much with that. I think at most I applied to probably like one or two jobs. There's some days, or I should just say a majority of these days, I have not really been able to apply for jobs. That's like I should. So I know I was supposed to cover, and I have not been doing this either. I would do it when it's convenient for me, as far as, if I'm like really active with my job hunting, and to the point where even though I may get more telemarketer calls, and while a lot of these, applications that I send are not so successful, then it would be more convenient for me to refer to that Glassdoor community post, and that I think it'll only be right for me to just go off at the right time on the fact that ageism plays a huge part into essentially graphic design, because creative marketing is part of graphic design, right? So that's where I want to touch on, and especially the response to it, which really made me want to talk about it in a great length. But right now, I've just been so hella busy. I've been doing not so much I got a lot of work, but just doing a lot of basketball scores. This entire weekend, I have the house to myself, to where I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of editing, and yes, more Christmas craft making, whatever I gotta catch up on, and and yes, of course, I gotta do my job hunting as well. I've been wanting to get out of this dump for a long time, but it seems like with how it's been this month, although to me it's been a pretty decent December, especially with what transpired just last weekend, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it out. I don't think I'm going to be able to leave this dump before this year ends, but who knows? I mean, after Christmas, I got 4 more days left, but even so, I mean, I got to prepare for the new year, which I'm not really so invested in this year, I'm just not really in the mood to prepare for another year anymore. I'm not. For the last 3 years, I've been saying the same thing. Oh, I can't wait until 2024 is over. I can't wait until 2023, 2022 is over. I've said that the last 3 years. It'd be pointless for me to say the same thing about 2025 as it comes to an end. Because, with how this year in its entirety has been, especially with this whole mental health program that I've been dealing with unexpectedly, unwantedly more so. It's like now I got all these problems going into the next year, that I got to deal with. So it's pointless for me to prepare for another year. I don't care if it's 2026. I care more about, the fact that I can't wait to get out of this misery. Yeah, I can't wait to get out of this darkness, period. There's no need for a certain period of time for me to get out of it. I just got to start it. This is where I credit Tristan in that, I know he's talked a lot about procrastination and waiting for certain dates. That's just useless. He's like, don't wait for the next year. He's always told me stuff like this. Don't wait for the next year to make it happen. Don't wait for the next month, this and that. start it when you can. Do so now. So, he's been big on really just trying to avoid procrastination, and that, it just becomes, and it can be an addictive habit in terms of just waiting for certain days, this and that. Next thing you know, you're gonna postpone it to the next week, this and that. No, I gotta practice getting out of that habit to where I can actually start, doing so, just doing it out of whatever day I can do it. Just doing it out of instinct instead of just waiting on a certain day to get it done, right? So yeah, so for my job hunting, I know I got to keep going at it, but although what's really holding me back right now is just the fact that it's the Christmas season, and although I have been trying, I'm really trying to make the most of this month, and this is where I like to get into so much of the fun, because I like doing my own kind of unique projects, and I'm going to talk about the next project coming up. I still got a whole lot of content that I need to catch up on. Hell, the one I posted this morning, I haven't even put it up yet. So that's how ultra busy I've been, right? And so, Armando wasn't even in, but even with him, just this whole week, I have not been able to take a second break. Just been busy, mostly on my, on making the scores, because I really want to work on them. So now I'm getting to just, in the middle of Game 7 right now of the first round series, and I want to get as much done, because I know he's not going to be here again on Friday, and even with him here, as long as the VP's not around, I can be able to get stuff done. I'm not worried about my coworker next to me. I'm worried about the VP who actually has a better chance seeing what I'm doing on the computer than my coworker does. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know I got to get busy with my job hunting. I gotta low key do it on the phone. I know it's most effective to do it on the computer, right? But I haven't had so much success on any of the other sites. But Indeed. So I really gotta get it cracking, because oh my god, I'm afraid of hitting that thing. No, I'm good. Yeah, so I know it's gonna be tough, because I feel like I'm gonna be in this dump for the rest of the year. I'm sorry I even have to say it, right? I know the Christmas party's tomorrow. I just don't want to even think so much. I mean, today is one of those days, or it's an exception, right? Of just having getting my spirit up. My energy is still pretty good, right? So yeah. And before I close this out, with a car like that, motherfucker, she like that man.